we will have a book reading, the first chapter, I guess, and I'll call on Alex Dubem Tagbo to come on. Please put your hands together for him as he comes. Come and read out the first, after which we're going to take questions and answers from Samson Itodo, the author himself. So be attentive, jot down if you must, questions you're going to ask with regards to the issues that will be raised. Thank you. Yeah. Sit down, go there, sit down, relax, and read.
Sit down. You don't need this. You can just sit down and just relax, man.
Okay. Relax, you know how we do, man. No panic. All right. Yeah. I think this is the table.
Yeah, that's the
Hello.
Get the OBs.
Okay.
Hey. You know the
So I would like to begin with the first chapter from the Boca laboratory, and it goes like this. Finally, Anna treated herself to a tour around the city. Since arriving in Berlin 3 weeks ago, her school admission and accommodation processing had consumed her totally. What a relief. She was finally done with it. What a perfect day for sightseeing. She decided on seeing the city. First, by riding on the train to Zoologischer Garten, one of the city's central train stations, and thereafter hopping from one bus onto another. Just her unique approach of introducing herself and getting used to the town. As she stepped into the subway, the S-Bahn was known here in Germany. The look on the faces of the people on the train sent a wrong message. Just like her on this first day. Seeing those passive, expressionless, and non-smiling faces, Anna thought she was going to have a lot of trouble living here. A stance that almost replicated the information she had gathered back home about Germany's Nazi past, in addition to the stories about the citizens not being really friendly. But Anna was surprised on her fourth day there. She missed her way back to her hotel and had no choice but to ask for directions from somebody. She looked around for any foreigner, but none were in sight, and she was skeptical about asking Germans because she expected them to be rude. Worse still, she couldn't tell which among the white people in sight were German or otherwise. After a moment of hesitation, she summoned up her courage and approached a well-dressed young lady. The lady in a gray suit with a white blouse over a gray skirt, a unique appearance that stood in variance with other faces around, a look. Anna assumed at that point exemplified absolute modesty, if not exceptional, innate, humane attributes, though with no trace of smile on her face. Anna was taken aback by the way her face lit up with smiles, so she said, "Hello." "Hi," she replied, smiling so warmly. Please, could you tell me how to connect to Zoologischer Garten?" "Oh, yes, of course. It's simple. Go down to U8, take the train direction Wittenau, drop at the second station, Osloer Straße, then go up and take the train U9 direction Rathaus Steglitz. It's about 8 stations from there." "Sorry, I didn't get that quite right," Anna pleaded. "Are you a tourist? Is it your first time in Berlin?" she asked. "Yes, I am new here." "Well, not a tourist, but a student," Anna replied. "All right, could you come with me?" she asked. She took Anna to the information point, got a map with detailed information of the train network, instructed her on how to use it, and gave it to her. After this experience and more with Germans who couldn't speak English but were willing to assist her, Anna started painting a positive picture of the Germans in her mind. "Now I have reason to have a different opinion of Germans," she retorted. The train had made 3 stops. The train had another stop, and then this guy came walking in with a guitar. He started playing and singing a song by John Lennon, Let It Be, a number and beautiful rendition that Ene loved so much. He did it so well. She had to drop 50 cents into the cup the man was passing. She also observed that people here were generous givers. Indeed, they were public-spirited because each time a beggar or newspaper vendor came into the train selling and begging for extra change, they gave, even if they didn't want the newspaper. The train moved on before getting to this new, very huge train station. After about 2 stops, bypassing Tiergarten's park, which stretched over a huge landscape, the train arrived at the zoo, the point where Ene got off the train. Outside the train station, there was an exciting, merry, blissful kind of atmosphere. At the bus station, she waited close to 5 minutes before the double-decked bus 200 arrived. After a while of traveling, the bus eventually stopped and parked, and every other passenger got out except Ene. The bus driver then spoke in German through the microphone, which Ene didn't understand. She walked to him at the steering and asked in English what the matter was. Ende, finito, geht nicht mehr, the bus driver said, with a hand gesture because of his lack of confidence in his spoken English. Somehow, Ene got the message from Finito and Ende. She got off the bus and decided to feed her eyes further by taking an extra walk. After about 100 meters, while still trying to let herself in on the difference this serene and quiet neighborhood presented, pondering with an admixture of comparison of all that she had seen in the instance, her eyes caught a sight which sent a chill through her spine. Before Ene, by the roadside, lay a young man in a pool of blood, gasping for air. Visibly shaken and confused, she turned around and was about to run to the bus driver for help, only to discover the bus had already moved on. Immediately, she sighted a phone booth nearby. She ran into it, slotted a coin into the phone, and dialed the emergency unit. After about 2 rings, a female voice came online. Notrufzentrale, mein Name ist Schneider. Wie kann ich Ihnen helfen? Hello, sorry, I can't speak German, Ene replied in a quick and panicky voice. The woman switched automatically to English. How can I help you? Asked the lady in heavy German accented English. There is a young man here covered in blood, and he is dying. What happened, she asked. I don't know, I just found him in that condition, replied Ene. Where specifically are you? She further asked. That I am not sure of, but wait a minute, let me take a look at the street signpost. Yep, it's Lindhof Street. Ene transliterated in an attempt to make the pronunciation. Okay, Lindhofstrasse, in which district, please? Sorry, I don't know, Ene said. Can you tell me anything significant you see there? Inquired the lady. Nothing much here, it's just a quiet street, but bus 195 ends here. Is that of any help? Yes, that would do. I will send help immediately. About 10 minutes later, Ene heard a siren blaring through the quiet and peaceful atmosphere of this neighborhood. It got louder with every passing minute until it filled the air. Then, from a sharp corner at the far end of the street appeared the van. Ene started waving her hands. The van sped on, finally stopping close to her. 2 nurses emerged from behind the van in orange uniforms. She pointed to the young man on the street. They both rushed quickly to him, and after a few minutes of checking, he was heaved onto the stretcher and carried to the van. Please, can you direct me to the train station? Ene asked one of the nurses. There is one close by the hospital. Come with us, the slim, taller nurse offered. She climbed into the van, closed the door, and drove it off. Is he going to survive? Ene asked as the bus sped on. We hope so, though he seems to be in a critical condition, replied one of the nurses. What really happened to him? Queried one of the nurses. I don't know. I found him just like that, Ene answered. They moved on a little farther, making their way towards the hospital. Suddenly, the van stopped, and there was the hospital. Ene was shown the way to the station as the young man was hurried on a stretcher into the hospital. I would like to stop here and recommend this copy to you. Thank you very much for your audience. Thank you.